Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. If you like my video, please like and subscribe. Also check me out on Twitch as Floyd Mason. Hello, welcome back, Power fans. We are back. Been a while, but we are doing another Nintendo Power review. So we are on to Book 4, and this is Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Honestly, pretty cool cover right here. I think on some of the they start to get to kind of more the animation style of the games, but the first ones they really did a good job of like getting real looking pictures because like the Sun's Quest one was quite real as well. Like this one's very real drawn. Really good cover. This book's in pretty good shape again for the age of it. Again, I bought this collection off a woman who this was her own collection. I'd read a bunch of these as a kid. One of my best friend's brother had them, so just like would read through them when we played games and stuff like that, and always loved them. But never got my own collection till around late GameCube Wii was when I started actually getting a Nintendo Power subscription. So fortunate that she was ready to part with it, give me a great deal, and I'm trying to do them honor by sharing them, reviewing them, talking about them, kind of what's going on with them. And also I'm excited to kind of, as we get through and like Super Nintendo comes big and 64 comes big and kind of seeing how the magazine changes over time. But yeah, so this one's Zelda 2. Again, I read this, I read it, I think a couple days ago, maybe like 3 or 4 days ago. So some of the games I read through, some of them I just kind of flip through the things, but we're just going to go through it and kind of talk about some of the things in it, what it talks about, some cool things, some weird choices. But yeah, I mean, right in this front cover here, we have kind of all the gear that they had. I had an NES growing up, but I didn't really have any of the gear. So they have like the Rock and Roller, obviously famously the AVGN talks about. But they have like this Mega Controller I've never seen. The NES Max I've played with before. Played with that bad boy. Never owned anything like it. Yeah, I mean it's kind of crazy how much stuff they made for the NES, like all the different controllers and whatnot. I do have the NES Advantage. Never used it. I don't really see why you would, but I guess for like older people, maybe who like to sit and kind of play with it on their lap, maybe it was a little easier to press the buttons. But I can't imagine you get much speed on it. I think it might have a turbo button. I can't remember. I don't know where mine is. Yeah, so let me just have the breakdown. What's in the book, but I will not show you this page. We'll keep it a secret. We'll get to it. And we start off with WrestleMania. I liked wrestling games. I've played a couple on the N64, and I used to watch a little, but I was never huge into it. It wasn't like a thing like I had to see. I enjoyed it if it was on type deal. So, new kind of characters, new kind of the gist of it. But the games are kind of fun. This has a breakdown. It's a little hard to read. Like it'll be a little hard to see, but it's kind of have the blue and yellow overlay of words, which is quite hard to read with the black. So don't love that. And again, like one of the things that Nintendo Power is great for is they have a move list here. So it tells you a bunch of the moves, kind of like what every button combination does for every wrestler, which is really cool. For some reason, a lot of people do a pin with B up down, but one guy does an eye gouge. Don't know why. Don't know why Bam Bam Bigelow is doing that eye gouge. Like that'd be so confusing if you're used to playing with one player. There's 4 that pin one way and 2 that pin another way. Very weird. Also, only one of them has a running move with B, which again is Bam Bam Bigelow. He's so weird. It's almost like somebody liked him and they wanted to give him all these special moves, but he does a cartwheel for some reason. There's more kind of on them. Just kind of a write up on it. All the wrestlers, which is kind of cool. I kind of briefly read through them. They're fine. Again, I'm not the biggest wrestling fan in the world. The pictures are also kind of weirdly drawn. But it's again, if it's your thing or you want to kind of learn about them, like it's cool to see all the moves. It's cool to see all the characters you can be. Kind of get again. I think Nintendo Power's best thing that it attempted to do and did well was trying to get hype around certain games. So next we have this full story continuing of like Captain Nintendo. I read through it. It wasn't the most exciting thing that I read, but again, I think as a kid I would have enjoyed it. I found it was a bit long. but it's got a story about a captain and dealing with all the Nintendo characters. I do like. I know throughout the year they kind of have like different stories and stuff written with them, and a lot of them are quite good. So it is a cool thing that they do. Kind of like write about the everyday kid getting to interact with all the Nintendo characters. Actually, on this page they have a writer showcase. So I wonder if they challenge kids to write in and get their story in, which I'm sure would be something I would have done as a kid. Up next, and this is something I deal with a lot right now with almost 2-year-old, is Sesame Street. I kind of like how this got like a full cover in here. I mean, again, one thing that's always been nice about Nintendo as opposed to other consoles is they think about everybody. Like they make games that are a little easier for young kids. They make good, challenging games for the modern gamer. They make casual games for the casual gamer, and they make a lot of garbage. There's a little garbage on there too, but yeah, this is a good breakdown of Sesame Street. I don't think I ever played this one. I played, I think, Elmo and Magic Land or Numberland or something like that, but I never played this one. And then we have, I think, the draw of this magazine is discussing the Adventure of Link. So that's just such a great, iconic picture of Link there. That's how I picture him. Usually when I'm thinking about him is that kind of look. And it's just, I mean, again, with these games, like part of the thing of Nintendo Power was to help you get through them because the games are difficult and not everyone was smart enough or had the time to figure them out. So I'm sure a lot of people figured stuff out in Nintendo Power and passed it on. Yeah, just more explanation. Again, a lot of this stuff is probably in the game manual as well, but probably a little more in depth here. You got a nice little map. And again, like in this era too, a lot of games were rented, so maybe it didn't come with the manual, like maybe it was damaged. So having all this information was helpful. Ooh, that's a really cool page. Just a bunch of the monsters drawn out. That's pretty cool. It's pretty sweet. A lot of the bosses, looking pretty killer. I'm pretty excited for the Zelda show or movie or whatever it is coming out. I can't remember what it is, but I think it's long overdue to make a live action, and hopefully it's good. I would love them to make like good movies about video games. Yeah, and then just continues. Just kind of a walkthrough. First area is what to do, where to get the idol, how to go to town, how to get the magic, and we'll show all this, but it's got basically a map of the first dungeon. Well, we'll show the first dungeon. Just got a map of the first dungeon, kind of where to go, where to get the keys, kind of the boss down here. So again, very helpful. Like the art is awesome. Good mix of pictures in here. Like it's really, really fun to read through this one. Like even though I've beaten the game, I know. I mean, I don't have the stuff memorized or where to go. And if I was to beat again, I'd probably have to look it up from maybe Nintendo Power. But it's a nice little layout. They have the Swamp Palace. Again, just the map falling through. Great drawings. Island Palace next. I think they have like 5 of them. They have Palace of Maze Island. Show another one. Like again, just great. Dungeons getting more complex. A great picture of the boss. A couple screenshots from the game. It's just really well done. Like again, Nintendo Power in the first couple, like they were good, but they're a little all over the place. And like again, like the wrestling one is a little more than it probably needs to be, but they're kind of figuring out the big games is like put time into it and show a bunch of the big games. One of the early, I think is what the first one even had like Super Mario 2 and like all the pictures, and like that's what people want. They want to see the game through. And so yeah, this gets you all the way to the kind of the 6th temple, which then you gotta figure it yourself. They don't want to give it all away. They want you to call in. But in here as well, which is super cool that the poster was not removed for this one especially, is you get this sweet map. That's awesome. On the other side, you do have this guy. Don't even necessarily know what game this is for. Honestly, I don't think it says. So I don't really know. All I know is if I was a kid, I definitely would have hung up the map. The map is so much cooler to me. That's so cool. And just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful condition. Well, I guess the next session is called Skate or Die. So I guess that I would have guessed it's Skate or Die, but that's what it is. Skate or Die was one. I think like one of my dad's friends had it, and we played when we were there, and so it always was fun. Because you don't realize that there's not much to do in it. It's a pretty short game. It was fun. I mean, again, skating was all the rage, so they had to make a game. This just kind of shows off some of the game, some of the moves you can do, kind of explains skateboarding. Nothing is as in depth as Zelda, but I think it does a good explanation of breaking it down. It's kind of showing the difference. So, going down the hill, doing the pool, and just kind of talk about it. Yeah, again, it's pretty good. It's got some pictures from it. It's got this checkpoint thing of kind of telling you all the stuff you can do, like spots where you can go and get points on the map, which is handy. Up next, we have the Howard and Nestor comic. Again, these are pretty common. These are pretty fun. Yeah, they hit or miss. This one's fine. Not one of the better ones, but it's not bad. Yeah, it's a fun little item. Oh, this is the part like I always liked reading as a kid is the counselor's corner. So this is for where people to ask questions that maybe a previous Nintendo Power hadn't explained on the games. It's got a Super Mario Bros. 2 thing of how do I get to the other side of the water in World 4 3. Where are the warp zones? Sometimes when I beat the Fry Guy in World 4 3, there's no door. What do I do? Which is like a bug. Apparently, if you destroy the last piece of Fry Guy and you touch it when it falls, the door might not open. So, that's one of those ones that's like, that's so helpful to have, because if you had this game and it was happening to you, sometimes when you played, you'd get super frustrated if you didn't realize what was going on. So Counselor's Corner, I think, is just a fantastic way, probably before, like, they might have had the phone lines active at this point, but for people to message in and be like, hey, I'm stuck. There's no internet. There's nothing to help you at that point of just, what do I do next? Says no Go-Go. They have Zelda First Quest, Castlevania 2, there's a couple, which is not surprising. And then we get into the classified information. So this is more kind of like similar to Counselor's Corner, where it's tips to get through the game, but it's tips that they've decided they want to share. So there's Double Dragon. There's just some moves you can do in Mission 1 to get around. In Mission 2, like how you can skip to like from Mission 2 all the way to the end of Mission 3. They have Mega Man kind of like explaining the firebolt and pause technique, which is hilarious. One of the most annoying monsters in a game ever is that boss. Beating him normally, I can do it, but it's so annoying every time you have to. Like, it's just thank you for accidentally leaving this glitch. Got some stuff about Life Force Gauntlet. Again, they got a bunch. Just tips about the game. Really cool to read. Again, it's a little harder now if I was to play the game, because it's not like I'm going to go back through. But like, I think at the time, if you had a game and you read it, and you're like, oh my god, here's a trick. Like, you run and get the game and try it. So very cool thing to kind of get you excited about games and get them playing. Next up, a game that I absolutely loved, used to play all the time, is Marble Madness. I love this game. I used to play it all the time. Absolutely loved it. It was very hard. I was consistently able to get to the last level, but then I just couldn't make the jump. I actually tried speed running it once or twice, and I just couldn't be consistent for the jump that I get all the way to the end and lose. That I just was like, what's the point of this? And I wasn't doing like the real running. Like the real running, they kind of push the screen so they like warp and stuff. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool to watch. But a really fun idea for a game. And something that like I feel you could do on like a Switch and just have people make like races and you got to roll the ball, because like they have things, like with like Super Monkey Ball type thing where you got to move, or what is it, Kirby? There's a Kirby game where you like you move the Game Boy into it, so they could do something like this. I just don't know with just marbles if it would have the same appeal, but it was so much fun. All right, next we have Operation Wolf. Not as familiar with this one. I think I've tried to beat this one, and the problem is that on the last level, if it's a game I'm thinking of, is that you only get one life. So it's like you can kind of restart all the other levels, but as soon as you get to the last level, you die in it, then you have to restart the whole game, and the last level is just crazy hard. So it got a little annoying, like working hard to get to the final level, and then you'd have a bad run, or it was just hard and you'd lose. But again, it's got some good tips on it. It's a fun enough game. It's definitely feels like it was probably an arcade shooter first, because it's just kind of guys run on the screen, you shoot them. But again, like I also like Nintendo Power. It's got such a range of games, right? Like it's got the wrestling game, so starting with the sports, it's also got the skateboarding, so kind of hitting that vibe. There's also got a huge Run Adventure of Link. It's got a shooter. It's got Marble Madness for the weird game, like just what is this? And then up next, kind of an interesting. I think they might have done this in a previous one as well, but they're actually comparing 3 football games. So they're comparing NFL football, John Elway's quarterback, and Tecmo Bowl. Again, super big in the US. So, but yeah, it's cool that they kind of just have like, okay, like what's like take something from the game. So here's team selection, how it works in all 3 games, what we like, what we don't like, how they compare. They have the playbooks. They kind of just break down everywhere of how the game's played in all 3. How you kind of do it. What makes the game better? Which one's better doing this? Which one's better doing that? What a touchdown. What the touchdown looks like. A very cool breakdown. Again, I like football, and like back in the day I would have played it, but I feel like on the NES, the sport I played the most, like I definitely played ice hockey, but I might have played more RBI baseball. I really liked. I think we had 1 or 2, and played it all the time. That and ice hockey. Another banger game in this episode, the original Metal Gear. This is not one I played much. Again, it was one that like a friend of my dad's had, so we played it there, so we never get far. But it was really fun. One of been like, hey, I should beat it sometime, right? Like, add to the list. There's a bunch of classic games. This one, I only recently, and like I had to use like save states to do it, beat Ninja Gaiden. I got to like the final boss without it, but I got annoyed of losing and running back to him. So I did beat it, but like I'd love to beat that one legit. I'd love to beat Contra. I'd love to beat Metal Gear. Like some of the originals I didn't own, and like we were not the type of family that would rent a game and keep it for a while. It was like we'd rent it for a night, it would go back. No matter how far in the game you were. Don't care. So this has got like some early map. It's got a bunch of tips on how to beat it. Like it's the thing where I'd love to pick a game and then look up like, okay, what Nintendo Power talks about it, get those Nintendo Powers out and see how far I can get just using them and holding off the internet. I no longer have the time to sit and like try and figure out and redo games over and over and over. I have no qualms using tips and tricks. Don't really know what this page is about. So this one's kind of talking about games that are based on movies. So I mean, you got Friday the 13th there, obviously. I was confused because I didn't see how World Games fit in. Or I still don't know how. But then they have Star Soldier as well. So again, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Bump and Jump, which I can't imagine is based on a movie. I don't really know what this is talking about. Othello is definitely not based on a movie. I don't know what this section is about. It's just kind of talking about some games that loosely have film related to them, I guess. I don't know. But again, just a good little quick write-up on a bunch of games. Robo Warrior, which I'm not familiar with. I don't even know if that game exists. Spy vs. Spy. It's again the interesting thing too is like sometimes they'll put a game in here because the game will be close and the last minute it gets shut down or they completely change it. So they don't always exist. What is this? Look at the future. Oh yeah, so this is a look ahead at some games that are coming out. Again, who knows if they ever made it? These ones definitely did. This has Ninja Gaiden in it. Obviously came out. They have a pro basketball, Magic Johnson game, which maybe it came out. I don't know. Bayou Billy, RoboCop, the Guardian Legend, which doesn't sound familiar to me. It doesn't look that familiar. Knight Rider, which again, like I don't I don't know any of these games. Airwolf and Bad Dudes, it does, and there's TMNT making its appearance. But yeah, there's definitely games that definitely show up. Like they have a list up here of like January, Feb, and eventually. So I have to imagine the January and Feb ones exist, which I do think I recognize all of them. Gyrus, Operation Wolf, Qbert, Bomberman, the Roland Rocker, Sesame Street. Then February's got WrestleMania, Friday the 13th, Track and Field 2, Mappy Land. But I imagine there's probably some future releases that never became a thing. I don't see any that like. I mean, they have a Spy vs. Spy 2, which I don't think that ever happened. Something called Terra Cresta, which I've never heard of. The Battlefields of Napoleon. I don't know that. So maybe some of these didn't exist. But it's got ones that it got like Cobra Triangle. Does that? Oh, it has Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th is in Friday the 13th. Interesting. Yeah, got the nice little insert in here, which is nice. Doing the player pool. I love again that. Again, as a kid, I probably would have torn all this out. So I appreciate that I got it from someone who kept them in such pristine condition and didn't mess with them. I recently bought some more from the N64 age, and they're all pretty good condition. The one thing is, like, I got two that had the Pokemon Power magazine in, and they ripped them out. And one of them especially, they ripped like part of the back cover getting it out, which is very unfortunate. It's almost perfect condition other than that rip. Yeah, so then we just have some talking. Like, they're talking about music for whatever reason. They're talking about some sports stuff. Again, maybe they just didn't feel they had enough at the time. They just kind of keep interest. I'll be curious to see when that falls off, because like they're gonna get to a point where they have so much gaming to talk about. Then they have a mailbox. None of these really stood out to me when I read them this time, but again, it's cool. It gave you something to like maybe write to. Like, it was cool to read whether people wrote and think like, oh, that is a good question, or like, oh, like maybe I could write in and ask a question. It's simple things like, whatever happened to Dragon Warrior? Will it be coming out? And then they're just talking about why it got delayed, which is a great little write up. Something obviously that people wanted to know. Then they obviously have the scores, which is cool. Again, you never know how much of these are accurate or whatnot, but I do remember looking at some of them and seeing and just being like, wow, like I worked hard to get this score and it's nowhere close, and like these players must be so good. Nowadays, you have to assume some of them are fake, but I'm sure some of these people put in the time and were just really, really good at games. I mean, someone's got to be the best of the game, right? There's got to be somebody out there who's really good at it. So then they have kind of the Video Powers Club, which again, people can just talk about their achievements and whatnot. These I always have trouble believing. Like some of them talk about how like like somebody I knew beat like these 4 games in a week and stuff. And it's like, yeah, right. Like I don't believe that unless they have already beat them or had all, because this is only edition 4, so I don't know how they were getting this stuff beforehand. But like, yeah, like this is our best player, Daniel Megatron Lilly. He's won Metroid 7 times, Rygar, Kid Icarus, Double Dragon, Kung Fu, and Super Mario Bros. I mean, doable. This kid's beaten 18 games, including Super Mario Bros., Legend of Zelda, Ghosts and Goblins. I doubt it. Rygar, Karnov, Goonies 2. Yeah. And their tips are like, in Legend of Zelda, always have some medicine. Like, no crap. I mean, it's probably a little kid, so I feel bad. But I think he's lying. I don't think he beat Ghosts and Goblins. I don't think he did at all. Yeah. Up next, we have the top 30. I would find this cool too. I was actually talking about the other day, and the difference. What I liked about this magazine is it doesn't just do their top 30. So it does. The show will come back, but it does the players' picks, the pros' picks, and the dealers' picks. So I'm not entirely sure if that means like what sold well, or like feedback that they've gotten, games that people are looking for. But I do love how they have them all. They show, which one's this? The players. So they show the players, which I think is the way to go. So this is the players' top 30. So Super Mario Bros. 2 is number 1. which it blew it away. It has 22,000 points compared to Zelda in second with 7,000, which is crazy because Zelda is such a better game. Super Mario Bros. 2 is good, but Zelda is so much better. Zelda 2 is in third, Double Dragon, Metroid, Punch Out, Island Seeker Castles in seventh, which is crazy. It beat Metal Gear and Contra. And then somehow Castlevania is below Castlevania 2. Gauntlet's down there. Mega Man's low. Which again, right, like, looking back, like, I love some of these games, but I think as a kid I would have hated Mega Man because it was just too hard. I like a game where I can at least make progress. Like, even if it wasn't too good. Like, I love Metroid. I used to just run around it. I didn't know what I was doing. I'd die. I'd come back. I don't care. Same with Metal Gear. I just run around. I had the most fun as a very young kid. Too young to be playing and understanding those games. Then they just kind of have a cool breakdown. And I wonder if they're combined, actually, on this front page. Because, like, Super Mario got 22,000 points. Yeah, it must be, because the dealer has a 16,000. So that they're actually combining all of them. Interesting. But yeah, Super Mario is like first, second, first. And Zelda second, third. And it's way down on the dealer's picks, which is weird. But yeah, it was always cool. I was like looking and seeing what was different between them, and like, it's the same as like movies, right? When you're looking at like the people versus the critics. Yeah, that's mostly. Well, that's it for this one. So all in all, pretty good episode, or edition or copy or whatever you want to call it. There's a lot in here. The Zelda Adventure of Link especially is so cool in this one. The maps are really helpful. It was a very tricky game. I'm sure it helped a lot of kids when they first got it. The animation is great for it. I think they had a good blend. Kind of comparing the three football games, I think, is very cool because, again, it is a thing where they're very different, and football is obviously very big, especially in the US, and kind of explaining how the games work to maybe appeal to what you like to do. Because, again, some sports games, they, take like an ice hockey, for example. It's just supposed to be fun and chaotic, but they also had Blades of Steel, which was a little more, you did a little more attention. And they'd have basketball games where it's just kind of like you can rough it up and like have fun, and some it's like you got to be more technical and like you do have to shoot properly to hit it. So it's kind of finding that right vibe. But I think it's a really good blend. Again, it's cool. It's cool reading all the little tips. It's cool, like, the fan questions and revealing strategies and tricks and all that. I think are some of the best parts of this. But all in all, I think a pretty good episode. And again, so far I think maybe my favorite cover. I really like the art style of it. Link, like, Zelda looks a little weird. It almost looks like she doesn't have eyes because it's just so hard to see her back there. But really, really cool. So that's gonna do it for this one. I'll try to make more of these. I definitely fallen off of them, but they're actually, again, I didn't have my room down here for a bit, so it was all kind of chaotic. I couldn't even reach my magazines because they're buried in a corner. So these are a little easier to make than some of the other videos I make. Obviously, making game videos, gotta play the game. Making Goosebumps books, I gotta read it, but I also have to make my notes because it actually matters what happens in the story. Where this, I can just look at a page and remind myself what's next. So I'll try to get on them. Again, I just bought more, so I got a lot to get through. There's over like 200 magazines total. I'm on number 4, so should maybe speed that up. But that's gonna do it for this one. And hung out, watched it all. Appreciate you. Let me know which one of the games that you saw in here that you were the most excited, that you played a lot as a kid. Mine was definitely Adventure of Link. Played all the time as a kid. Don't think I had a Nintendo Power for it, so I was very confused. I don't think I ever really got much farther than around the graveyard area until I was in college and just looked up on the internet how to get where the next temples were. I think using the whistle to like raise that temple was something that I never, I read that for sure. I never figured that on my own. Nobody ever told me about it. I definitely read it online, I think. Yeah. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. If you liked my video, please like and subscribe, and also check me out on Twitch as Floyd Mason.